Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our show, the panel. We're going to do a quick round robin. It's just Jim and I right now, but we're hoping that Dutchie and Bush can join us a little bit later, or Bull can join us a little bit later. So, Jimmy, let's start with how your weekend went, brother. How you doing?
My weekend was hectic. I've been working all weekend, starting a new business, and I'm excited, but it's just a lot of work. But I'm okay, man. I'm hanging in there. I got some nice weed.
All right,
And
awesome, awesome. What you
How
smoking
was
on?
your weekend? How was your
My
week?
weekend was great, man. I went up and saw the Nats play a baseball game, and they played
Oh
up
wow,
against the Cincinnati Reds, and they beat them. Go Nats!
yeah.
I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Yankees fan by heart, but go
I'm a
Nats.
diehard Yankee fan. I can't. That's my
I can
team,
only
man.
support them because they're the home team, and I only support them when they're here. If they ever played
Wow,
the Yankees, it's all the way against them.
wow.
I don't care. I don't care at all. But look, so let's jump into this Jared and Ivanka thing, right?
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
Well, you know, it's pretty cynical. It shows you how the separation, as they finally say, from church and state.
Yeah.
But it looks like everybody is climbing off the Trump mountain real fast. Um, apparently, it's caused Jared some real controversy in his life, and that's why he's saying, "Hey, it's better I stay at another level with my father-in-law
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you know Ivanka went against her father." You know,
yeah, and so did Jared.
yeah, and they did because they had to for their own integrity, because you can't carry on a lie. When you start to just believe your lies, and people, the fools that believe this lie, has caused so much controversy. Jared and Ivanka, you know, look, he never liked Jared. I don't know if you know this, but he never liked Jared, especially
Well,
for
he
his
faked it
son-in-law.
until he faked it until he made it. Because I heard something along the lines that he was like against the marriage because Jared was Jewish, and
Absolutely.
then he was something like, hey, all the Jews love me. Everybody in Israel loves me. He said this,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, look, the positions of politics, the real politicians, and anybody who's educated is saying, hey, Trump's a fool. So if you're staying on the Trump wagon, which practically half of the Republican Party has denounced him now, what
Yeah, but
more
he's
does
still making
Jared,
endorsements. I'm
what?
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but he's still
No,
making
no, not at
endorsements.
all. You,
He's
you
still
know,
making endorsements.
Jared and Ivanka now realize their father is a lunatic. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he's really right now, and I knew this. I told people, they said, "Oh, he's going to win another election. He's coming back." I said, "My friends, he is. There is no way that he's coming back. He's going to destroy himself." And you know what? I give props to the Democrats because they're the ones that are pushing this sly January 6th insurrection, and they're gaining great strength and proof that Trump really was a fool. He really did foolish things, and he really was detrimental to our country. He's detrimental to our democracy. And though Jared is Jewish or whatever, and Trump didn't like him, he's a slumlord. He's a multi-billionaire, and he was put in control of a country that he had no right being in control of. He
Oh,
knew
facts,
never,
facts.
yeah, he never knew how to run a country. And here is a guy that just went golfing and denounced everybody and put people down. After a while, the bully gets beat up, and
Yeah.
that's what's happening, and he's getting beat up in a bad way, and in a very positive note, Jared and Ivanka are showing great poise and showing great character by saying, hey, enough's enough. I
Well, I
mean,
mean, Trump kind of made a bad impression to begin with, right? Because when
yeah,
Jared was, I guess Jared was a publicist at
right,
some paper or something in New York. Anyway, so he ranked Trump lower than he was supposed to be financially. And so Trump wrote him a letter. That was his introduction to Jared, and he
right.
cussed him out in the letter.
Yeah, and you know, he didn't want Trump didn't want him to marry him. You know,
No,
she,
no,
not just because he was Jewish, but there was a lot of other elements. But what's very surprising is he wound up becoming very close, making him his right hand man, which was a big mistake on Trump's part because even that other gentleman, Miller, you know, putting these people in place just really now the tables are folding because look, when the boy cries wolf, after a while, everybody's going to say, hey, he was crying wolf, you know,
yeah,
and they're
yeah.
not going to stand behind him, especially when they see all this incriminating evidence coming out, you know.
I mean, this evidence is ridiculous. This
Oh,
evidence,
listen, he literally scaled the wall of conspiracy in a way that he was leaving. What people are knowing now is that he was leaving everybody in the wake. It's like a guy that was driving and he put you in the driver's seat and said, "Hey, you're the guy that caused the accident." You
yeah,
know, when he
it's just
did,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
and they're like, "Hey, I'm not covering up for this guy no more." And even your son-in-law and your own daughter,
I mean, it's disgusting, isn't it? Let's jump
yeah,
off this topic because I'm tired of giving Trump this much
me
time.
too.
All right. So I'm going to jump to the comments really quick. And John Mix said question mark when we were running a little behind. I'm sorry about that, brother. We had to get some things together, but I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you standing by for us. And then Marvin Turner asked, exposed how? We will get to that, brother. We will be talking about Nicki Minaj and all the stuff that came out about her. So let's jump on Prince. Did you hear about what happened with Prince's family and the estate and everything?
No,
Okay, so basically, what happened is Prince's estate is finally settled after 6 years. The family's been fighting back and forth, and it
oh,
looks
you're
like it
talking,
was
yes, Prince, right?
Prince. Yep. So
Yes,
three
yes.
brothers or three siblings against three other siblings, right? And so the courts ruled that they're going to split the legacy between or split the money between Prince Legacy, which is one group of siblings, and Prince Oat Legacy in LLC or something like that. So anyway, these fools, the three siblings have already sold their shares of the catalogs for Bob Marley, Whitney Houston, and Ray Charles. Who would be dumb enough to sell that?
Wow. Yeah, you know, it is. It's a shame. It really is. But this is what goes down. You know, money talks and everything else walks, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that brother
I
worked
know.
hard to get those catalogs, man.
Oh
That was
no,
just
listen. I
horrible.
agree with you. I agree with you. That's totally wrong. I mean, it was a big court battle, and after a while, the judge said, "Hey," the judge made his own definitive decision. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, the people that sold their share, fortunately, it was their shares. Hopefully,
right?
the other siblings are smart enough to keep the other shares and
Exactly.
own that music too, because
That's
he
right.
really. I mean, Bob Marley nowadays, Bob Marley is like revolution. Bob Marley is like why we smoke ganja, right? Because we've been
Yeah.
chilling out to some of his songs. So and Ray, what can I say about Ray? Every time they play Georgia on Your Mind, you would be getting paid, you stupid fool.
Ray Charles, that was a sad story, you know.
Yeah.
And I never really liked Jamie Foxx until I saw him do that movie.
Oh, he killed it. He
And
killed
no,
it. Shout out to
it
Jamie
was
Foxx.
beyond killing. I found a newfound respect for that guy
Oh yeah.
as an actor, but that was one of the most impressive movies I've ever seen. And he really made you feel the character of Ray Charles, you know.
He
And
definitely
it's
did.
kind of a sad life, you know. I mean, to grow up like that and go blind and learn the piano the way he did and be shoved out into the world. You know,
Yeah.
his mother couldn't take care of him, and that was a
Well,
true story.
and back in those days, it was very hard. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
appreciate the way his mother raised him. so that he would be strong enough to make it out there on his own. So shout out to Ray's mom. May she rest in peace. Um, yeah,
But we
that
have to
was.
say Ray Charles is probably one of the most extremely talented people
Oh my God,
that
he
ever
was
walked the
amazing.
earth. I mean, to me, he was a big reason why I got into rhythm and blues, and I got into the whole movement of his music because of how talented he was. He
Oh,
wasn't just a
fact.
piano player, but he was a great writer. You know,
Yeah,
and
he was
Atlanta.
amazing. He was absolutely
Oh
amazing.
man,
It was
forget it.
like the way, but his hearing, I mean, you got to give it props to the blindness helped his hearing and it
That's right.
increased it so much more that
You
brought out
know,
so much talent. You know what I mean?
that's right. And you know what was very amazing in the movie? I read the book, and it's pretty intense because the movie really portrayed the book. I
Yeah.
think but what the real reason why he couldn't go into Georgia or perform in Georgia ever again was pretty ridiculing to him because he stood up for his rights and he listened to a man speaking, and they wouldn't let black people in to go see him,
Yeah.
which was hideous. And you know what?
In Georgia. In Georgia.
In
That's why he
Georgia,
was banned from Georgia.
yeah, and
It's
it was
crazy.
unbelievable. And so that day, they said they apologized to him, which was the righteous thing to do.
Yeah, but
But
it took so many years.
but back then, when there was so much discrimination, he fought, and that's why you have to take your hat off to him as a human being and as a political person, because he's a celebrity,
I mean, but
But
even though Whitney went a little bit crazy, we can admit to that, right? Towards the end, Whitney was going to, but that woman undeniably had one of the most
oh
beautiful
man,
voices that I've ever heard in my life.
hey, listen, who do you honestly think wrecked him?
Who would I want to see? What?
Whitney. Who do you think wrecked Whitney?
Who do I think whacked her?
Who do you think wrecked her life?
Oh, I think she wrecked her life.
Bobby Brown.
Nah, I can't blame Bob. She was already on drugs before she
Oh,
got to
she
Bob.
was?
Yeah, man.
Wow,
She was already a
Malika,
cokehead
you're
before she got
telling
to
me
Bob.
something that was not ever told to me. Yes, she was amazing, and she was a vibrant singer, but what happened to her was a tragedy.
Oh, it
And
really was. And you think about it. You remember those interviews? You see Whitney and Bob out in the street. Who's the one cussing people out? It wasn't Bobby.
wow. And all this time, everybody was saying that
They
Bobby
were
Brown,
blaming Rod.
yeah, they
Yeah,
were
that's not
blaming
true.
Bobby. And I apologize for that because honestly, I did not know that she was really heavily into drug use. But that's what happens to a celebrity when you have
Yeah,
no
man.
life. I mean,
And when she started at such a young age too.
yeah, she
And I
could
mean,
not.
you know,
Yeah, she
she
couldn't
knows
go
how
out
to
of a
handle it.
house without photographers. She
Yeah.
couldn't do anything publicly. I mean, she was the same thing they did to Amy Winehouse, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
that's horrible. The,
survived.
the most talented
What?
people, the most talented singers are the ones that leave us so
Oh
early,
yeah, the rule of 27, but I ain't even going down that
Yeah,
rabbit hole.
they're 27. Oh my God, let's carry on, right?
Yeah, man, it's kind of depressing. Let's talk about this therapist, right? So there's a therapist named Elise Fla- Flounder or Flounder, and she operates a business called Views Talk Healing, right? And she's out of DePaul, New York. I don't know DePaul, New York. Do you know where that is?
No.
I think it's on the west side. I think it's up north on the west side. Anyway, so she's bringing mental health to the Black community. And she'll help anybody that walks through her door. But, her target audience is people that have been underserved in the mental health community, which
Yeah,
I think is pretty effing awesome. So shout out to you, Elise. You're
yeah,
doing fabulous things. And look, guys and gals, it is okay to have somebody else to talk to. That's
that's
not.
right. You know, a doctor I met a while ago, I was doing work for him, and he had said, "Hey, Jimmy, I didn't become a doctor to become rich. I became a doctor to help people. So those people are the ones we have to give props to. You know,
Definitely.
yeah, because the greed and all the things in this world that cost so much money, and people are struggling right now. That's a godsend to people that do need to talk to somebody. And I praise her and I give her props, man.
Yeah, man, you can't do nothing else. Now, did you hear Angelina Jolie is sending her daughter Sahara to Spelman?
Just, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. And you know what? No matter how I agree or disagree with Angie's lifestyle, I think that it says something that she's willing to send her daughter to receive a all black experience or a black experience in a
right.
school. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Because
That's right.
it's not like she grew up in her culture, you know?
Yep.
And so it's cool for her to do that. And I shout out to her for that. That's much respect. Much
Hey,
respect.
they have a lot of adopted children of all different races. Angelina Jolie didn't discriminate against anybody. She took a child and she loved the child. But yeah, I think that's a great thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And of course, you support anybody who structures anything about what I call humanity or us
Yes.
being all human beings, which is what I told my son the other day, and I said, just imagine a world where you're just human beings instead of segregation and separation and disregard the priorities of human life. This is
Yeah.
something that I hope, I really want to see and I hope to see. And the end of all this aggressive, nonsense. And I mean, I see so many people becoming violent today because they're so drawn within themselves from COVID and things being expensive and people not being able to afford themselves, just creates a worser trauma to us all. And yeah, there should be no limit. There should be no limits to anything. There should be no disregard to anything I mean, years ago, me and you were not alive in the time when a person had to ride into the back of the bus and could never sit in the front.
Yeah.
So we are in a time now where anybody can grab a seat on a bus and there's no discrimination. There's no, oh, what is she doing that for? What is she doing that? Like you said, let's praise her. There's
Let's
nothing
pray.
wrong with that.
I
It's
mean, Jimmy,
perfectly
could you
fine.
imagine growing up non-Italian? Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
Yeah.
You could imagine not being Italian?
No, I mean, hey, look, I got to tell you something. It hasn't been easy. I remember when I was younger and I worked for a guy, Richie Decker, and
Uh-huh.
he literally said to me, he goes, well, you Italians. I said, first of all, my heritage is Italian. But I said, I
Yes.
was born in America, just like anybody else. And I said, and for you to do that is very foolish to be discriminatory on me because the Italians, first of all, did not want to go into World War II against America. They never did. It was Mussolini. That's why they killed him.
Yeah.
And when the Americans were invading Sicily and Italy, the Italians were going, come here, the Germans are over here. Come here, I'll show you. Nobody realizes that. We were
Yeah.
together in World War One, but Italians. I don't know what it is. I would say the same aggression with blacks and Mexicans. And it was a negative aggression. I
Yeah,
felt it.
that's messed up. I mean, because you think about it, a lot of Italians are actually dark skinned, darker than me.
Yeah. Oh
And
man, listen, my cousins are, and my cousins from Sicily are. If my grandfather didn't marry my grandmother and my father didn't marry my mother, I would not be this white because most of the people in my grandmother's side of the family are black.
yeah, yeah.
And I have black blood in me, and I'm proud of it because that is my heritage. Oh, you're all Italian. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. Italy was invaded by the Gauls, was invaded by Germans, the French, everything.
They were
And you.
colonized.
Yeah, so it's bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. My friend had her blood taken. She was Sicilian, but guess what? She was also Syrian. She had Syrian blood in her, and she
Okay.
also had more blood in her.
See?
And my friend, God rest his soul, Paul Fabosi, he said to me, he goes, Jimmy, we all carry the same gene pool.
Yeah, man.
Especially Italians. I mean, but Italians, I think, were discriminated against the same way you would how they looked at black people and
That's
Mexican
what I'm
people now.
saying, man. So for
Yeah,
you guys to have to be forced to go fight for Hitler,
yeah,
who was trying to wipe out everybody that was fighting for him from Italy, is
that's
some
right.
bullshit.
But nobody wanted to fight. Nobody wanted to fight. When America and Britain invaded Italy, they were all for it. Come here, I'll show you where the Germans are. And the
Yeah.
Germans were actually broadcasting, the Italians are shooting at us with the Americans. And that is a fact. But again, hey, listen, I'll take what's given to me. I'm a big boy. I could
Yeah.
take it on the chin, but I worked for a gentleman who was a Slavic person. They don't like Italian people. Slavics and Irish do not like Italians. That's what it
Well,
is.
let's hope that the world has been changing a lot and that
Oh
that
yeah,
we can all
hey,
get along.
listen,
We
we
all
now.
we all have the same color blood on the inside. So
That's right.
shout
Hey,
out
guess
to my Caucasians, my Asians, my
that's
Latin,
right. That's right.
everybody. You know what I mean?
I had got an operation one time, and it was a black doctor. And
See,
when the doctor
like the
came
best
in,
operation you ever had. No, just
yeah,
joking.
I had it. Well, I had an infection in my arm. The doctor
Okay.
came in. I did not think anything like, oh my God, what's this? A black. I didn't say anything. I said, hey, doc, how you doing? She goes, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I said, why would you think I don't know what you're doing? I said, I'm very excited. I said, this thing is killing me. She goes, I'm going to take right. And she took amazing care of me.
It
Came
was she
back.
cute.
And I said, thank you, babe. I said, thank you, babe. And she started to
So she
laugh.
was cute. She was cute.
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of people would turn around and say, well, what's this? But we are growing up. I think we're all growing up. I think, when I see a lot of the marches and I see a lot of the discriminatory marches, and back in Martin Luther King Day, there was white people, priests, women fighting because they knew that what was going down was wrong. And
Yeah.
that's what this is all about. When there's something going wrong, and regardless if it's Mexican, black, or white, or whatever, we should stand up for it and we should fight for it. And that's
Exactly.
what I see is happening. And that is very exciting to me because, a lot of people can talk a lot of shit and say, hey, I've suffered. Yeah, I'm Italian. I suffered through a lot of things. People, yeah, they don't like you, whatever. But guess what? We fought the good fight. Now there's major doctors and people in business that are Italian. Some of the smartest people in this country are Italians. Some of the smartest people in this country are black people.
Yeah.
And what's so amazing about this country that I love this country is that we allow immigrants to take office and become a part of this country because that's what this is. This is a symbol. The American flag is a symbol of unity for everybody, you know.
And freedom. And freedom. We just
And
gotta get it.
when
We
you
just gotta
know,
keep pushing.
you got to keep going. And you know what was very hurtful was Carl Kaepernick. When he took a knee at the football game and started all that stuff, and they fired him.
Wait.
I did.
You said that was hurtful?
I'm sorry.
You said that was hurtful?
No, yeah, because they went against him in such a
I
foul.
thought you said it
Yeah,
was
like
hurtful that he took a knee. I said,
no,
hold up,
it
Jimmy,
was.
you about to debate.
Yes, babe, you're right. But you get emotional sometimes. But you're talking about the same situation and story. But why did they discriminate against that guy so much? And they didn't look at why he was doing that. He really wasn't disrespecting the flag. He took a knee and in great poise, saying, "Hey, man, take a deep look at what's going on."
Man.
And that, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I
no, I
think,
feel you. I feel you, Jim. And I think that's all wonderful that he took a stance and I loved his production on Netflix. Actually, by the way, you guys should check out on Hulu, Janet. Janet has a 3 or 4 part series, and she's just talking to people all about her life. Lord, there are some things revealed in that I didn't even know. So there you go. And she
Yeah.
talks about all her marriages, guys. And you can know why she broke up with Jimmy Dupree. Anyway, so Jimmy, did you see the story about this Georgia lady?
No.
And she was hitting this kid in daycare.
No. What happened?
So she apparently punched and slammed this 3-year-old in daycare, and it was like two
Oh,
coworkers.
yes, yes. Oh man, what the hell was that all about?
Man, if it was my kid, I'd be in jail right now because I'd have killed that hoe.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so sorry. There's so much stories and so much stuff going around. But why did that woman do that?
Because she's an evil bitch and she needed her ass whooped. I promise you, Jimmy.
I mean, but
If that was my grandkid, I promise you, I'd have been on the first thing smoking, and
oh, forget it. And
me and her
you
would
know,
have had a serious conversation.
but don't they screen these people
You
and
think
do it?
they do?
I mean, yeah, I would have flipped out. I mean, if that was my granddaughter, I would have flipped out.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
I'm,
It
I'm
was.
not, again, people do not know how to control or handle their violence within themselves. And they let life take its course on them. I can't afford bills. I can't afford that. The gas is so expensive.
Yeah,
Instead
but
of
you can't be beating up on little kids, and it got
no,
caught on
well,
video,
that's what I'm
man.
saying. This is a mind control thing. Hey, and this is people reacting and not thinking before they react. And she could have had a crazy day, but
There
nonetheless,
is no excuse. There is no
she
excuse.
did. She had no right to do that to that child.
And if you
You know,
guys haven't heard about her, the broad's name is Bernetta Glover. That's her name. Raggedy
wow.
bitch. And Autumn
How
Coney.
how old is she?
It doesn't really say how old she is, but the grandmother told her that the grandmother told the police that she picked this kid up and he was all bruised up. Cuts
Oh
and
my
bodies on it.
God.
Visible bruising on this little boy. Visible.
You
It
know,
was just ridiculous. I'd have whooped her ass. Like I'd still have
yeah,
to
I
get
mean,
off on her
yeah,
ass.
that
We'd
if
be in
you got to
hospital trying to
worry
get
about
mine.
your son, I know if you got to
Man,
worry about your child like that, that's crazy, man.
yeah, man. That's why I didn't put my kid in daycare until I absolutely had to. And I know some of y'all got to put your kids in daycare. I get that. But like, be on the lookout for these people, man. Be on the lookout for these people because some of these people are pedophiles. I remember one time I was interviewing for my daughter to go to a kindergarten, right? So she was going out of pre-K. And what wound up happening is this guy made me uncomfortable because he was forcing all the kids to come and give him hugs. So I got
Wow.
home. I decided, you know what? Let me look up his name. And what's the first thing that came up? The Virginia Sex Registry with this
Are you
fucker's face
serious?
there for taking indecent liberties with children. I
Whoa.
called that school and I said, he's got 5 minutes to get the fuck out of there or I'm calling the goddamn news.
And they got rid of him.
Yes. Yes. And then I would call back every year just to ask for him to see if the
And
little
you were
motherfucker was
leaving
still
you
there.
were leaving your daughter in the
No,
care
no,
of
no,
this
no, no,
person.
no, no. My daughter never went there because I
Oh,
got
your
cold
daughter?
vibes. So we went there for like a family night where they were kind of introducing us to everybody. And this is
Wow.
many years ago. Be
Yeah, but
careful who
that's
your
heavy,
kids go
man.
with.
That's heavy.
That's some bullshit. And I called like every year for like the next 5 to 7 years to make sure that fucker wasn't still there. Because I'd have whooped his ass. I'm sorry, did I say I would whoop his ass?
Yes, that's it. I whip his ass too. I'll whip his ass with you. You know, I got to tell you, you never know who you're dealing with. This guy, Bill Pappas, was going around telling everybody he's my partner, and he was all his ideas, and I'm like, okay, no problem. Yes, Bill Pappas, right. Karma plays a very intricate role in our life. Karma is an energy that is very real. If you do bad to others, bad will come to you.
Say that
It's a
again,
fact.
Jimmy. Say that again. Say it one more time.
Karma is karma will come to bite you in the ass. If you ask for it, you will get it. So this guy, Bill Pappas, was going around bad mouthing me and bad mouthing people. Next minute, he becomes a policeman. And I read on the front cover of the Staten Island Advance, police officer Bill Pappas was arrested for trying to have sex with a 12-year-old boy.
That fucking, oh God. Was he
Can you imagine
okay?
this
Okay,
guy?
innocent until proven guilty. Everybody, innocent until proven guilty. But the
He was
camera
proven
showed this young
guilty.
lady. Okay, boom, there we go. Well, fuck that fucking pedophile.
He and I got to tell you, there's a lot of nuts out there, Malik. There's a lot of nutty people out there.
But you
I
can't even trust the cops. But
what?
they're the ones. I'm sorry, I'm getting teared up.
Yeah, yeah.
The kids
Police. Here
can't
he
even
becomes a
trust the cops,
policeman. Yeah,
and that's what we teach our children.
that's right.
If
That's
you're
what.
in trouble, go to a cop, and this motherfucker's beating. He's raping little boys.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? And he's a police officer.
He said
Yeah,
had his head blown off. I
yeah.
believe in capital punishment, Jimmy. I do.
It's very cynical. We live in a very cynical world. There's good and bad in every nationality and every person, and that
Oh yeah.
we can't say that not one is a perfect race. I mean, there's more pedophiles that are registered in New York State. I was reading this registry, how if you go to a school, like you found out that guy was a pedophile, how many schools hired people
That were
and with like that. So where's our? We're the only country that does not do a heavy psychological profile on people before they get a job. Oh, they fill out an
But you
application.
know
Oh, he
why we
seems like a
can't, Jim?
nice guy.
You know why we can't? Because we don't pay these people. We gotta pay our teachers more. We don't
That's right.
pay them enough to go through the bullshit that they have to go through. So what
That's
you're
right.
getting is the leftover of society.
Yes, that's right.
Now, there's some teachers out there that have very good hearts, and they are there for the children, and we appreciate y'all. But there's some other mugs out there that are just looking to harm our kids.
Oh yeah, man. And they hide behind their sinister, it actually is really disgusting, to be honest with you, that especially when it comes to children or schools, like after that Parkland shooting, I got nervous. I called my son with my granddaughter, and they said, "Oh, there's armed guards there," and like, "Oh, you're at ease," But we live in a very cynical. I want to tell you a story. A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, was killed. He was stabbed 18 times, and then a guy put him on fire,
Jeez.
burned his body. So they were looking. They didn't
Jimmy, I
really.
don't want to come for your neighborhood, man. It seemed like a lot going on.
Oh yeah, Staten Island's a strange place. So then, I was on the ferry with my girlfriend with the guy that killed him. And I'm telling him, whoever I find out who killed Scott, I says I'm gonna rip his lungs out. Me and my friend that were with him.
Yeah.
My friend called me up the other day. He goes, "Jimmy, do you know that kid Arles turned himself in?" We were sitting on the ferry, and he was very down and out. Well, what happened was my friend Scott, this guy Earl, went away and said, "Hey, could you keep an eye on my girlfriend?" They wound up having a relationship and having sex, and he heard next minute he stabbed him and burnt the guys. This is years ago.
Okay, but the man the man violated him.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he thought that somebody was going to kill him, so he had to turn himself in. But this is the disgraceful. This is the animals that we live with. They're amongst us.
All the
They're
time.
amongst us, from a guy getting into a school that has a sex offenders tag on him, and meanwhile he got into work in a school. We don't do background checks. We don't. Have you been to the airport?
Oh yeah.
And do you see our security? Do you see our the people that handle our security?
So look, I ain't gonna come for the TSA agents because I fly often. Fuck that. I gotta keep them on my side, Jimmy.
I want to keep them on my side. No, but I mean, listen, when you got to call a spade, Malik, these people have attitudes and words.
Oh, they be mean in a mug. But
how
much they're getting paid to do bomb checking and shit? Like $13, $15 an hour to check for bombs.
That's what they're paid?
No more than $20, Jim. I promise you that.
Man.
The people with the worst jobs in this country get paid, or the people with the jobs that invest the most and our safety and our children are
Uh,
getting
We're
paid
we're
less.
we're heading towards a very dark path because you know what's happening now. The workforce in this country, people are turning around and say, "Hey, screw that! I'm not going to go in there and get beat up for $14, $15 an
Fuck
hour.
that.
I'm
That's
going to
why they
go."
didn't show up a lot of times during the COVID. Canceled
Yeah,
flights were their flights were canceled everywhere. Those kids were not showing up. They do not pay those people enough. The
no,
thing about it is we waste our money on shit we shouldn't be wasting our money on, like Ukraine, right? And we
right.
got people here in this very country that don't have enough money to survive or living below the poverty line or at the poverty line that we put in care of our children,
That's right.
that we put policemen out to protect our safety, and we put TSA agents out there. And they're supposed to stop bombs and shit from getting on the plane. But these people, oh, honey, it's a damn shame.
You
It's a
know,
damn shame.
and it's only in this country. It's only in this country. It's only in this country. We're one of the only countries. We're rated 46th in education. Just think about that.
Oh, no, I know. I mean, the
And
sad part about it is
and
kids come
and
over
you
for
know,
foreign languages or for foreign countries and they can speak 4 or 5 languages when they
yeah,
get here.
absolutely. And we do. Our education level is at nil. I mean, I think we're producing more dumbasses than we are educated people, and it's sad. And only the privileged people can go to college because their parents are rich, and that
Or
goes for
you take
any.
out a hell of a lot of student loans and you're paying out the ass
Well,
every
you
month.
know, I'm paying off my daughter's student loan, and I bought her a car because you know it's crazy. When I was in college, classes were $245.
Honey, it's thousands of dollars of credit.
Now the same class, if I wanted to take that now, is 14,000.
Mm-hmm. It's a damn shame.
So I had my own apartment. I was able to go to college, hold a job, have a car, pay rent, buy food, no problem.
That's some
Now
badass shit, ain't it?
you can't do that today. And
No.
then a person gets a master's degree and is only making $35,000 a
And they
year.
still got to live with their parents.
You're right. And that's more people are living with their parents now than in any other generation. My
Ever.
daughter is moving back to save for a house. She's going to go back and live with my ex-wife to save money
Yeah.
because
It's a
she can't
damn
afford
shame.
it. She
It's a
tried to
damn
do
shame.
her own apartment, and I see it. You know, Dad, I got my student loan. I get this. You know, they promised me a bonus, and she can't even now afford to go pay for the gas to go back and forth to work.
God dang.
She
It's
told
a
the
damn
boss
shame.
she cannot afford. So now she's going to try to save for a house. I said it's the best thing to do. Close your eyes. But she's 31 years old. You know,
Yeah, it's hard, man. And
it's
then
hard.
we as parents have bought our houses at like 20, 25. Like I bought my first house at 25. So, that actually creates like my daughter feels almost like and the rest of my siblings and I won't say all of them, but some of them feel like, man, I should be further along in my life.
That's right.
We can't. The
You
chips are
can't.
stacked.
Do
But
you
there is
know
one. Go ahead.
the average house is $550,000?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Malik.
Yes,
How the
sir.
hell? How the hell are you supposed to get a couple of 100,000? Yeah, the people that owned houses in Brooklyn or owned a house and the Chinese family comes in with a briefcase and says, "Here's $1.5 million." Yeah, they're the lucky ones. But if you didn't own a house, how are you supposed to come up with the money to buy a house?
And
At
even if
that,
they come with 1.5 million, there's the upkeep on that house that you buying.
yeah. You know,
Mm.
it really got out of control and it got out of hand. And the housing market really ruined that. It was the housing market that created that because when you create a structure, and again, it comes down to greed. It comes down to greed.
Yeah.
Um, I got a house. Hey, this house cost me 125, but I could sell it for 250, and I do really great. But you know what?
Where you
I'm
gonna
gonna
go?
put I'm gonna put this house up for 425.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Next minute, that's what happened. So they started raising the value of the property, and the real estate market did that. There was low interest rates. Now that the interest rates are high now, and you can sometimes get a loan for 7% now.
Jesus, mine is like at 2. Woo.
Yeah, it's like 6%. But now the prices of the houses are dropping because nobody can afford the interest rate.
Yeah.
So we insult ourselves every time we make a move and play with the yo-yo,
Yeah, I
and
got you, man.
and it's not happening for a younger generation because they're coming out of school or they come out of high school, and what are they doing? They're working 2 jobs and they can't
Yeah,
even
just to
pay for their
survive.
car payment.
Well, I got some good news for y'all out there. The iPhone 14. You hear about how much the new one's going to cost, Jimmy?
I'm mad because I just paid $1,200 for my
So, do you know how much the
Android.
14, the low brand 14 is costing?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's the 20 plus extra thing, the
No,
top of
it's
the
the
line.
iPhone 14. Okay, so it's going to
Yeah,
be
no,
the
the
iPhone
iPhone
14.
14 is $800. That's ridiculous.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I wanted you to get to. It's $800, $799. People, save up your money. This may be the only time you can afford an iPhone ever again. Just play.
Yeah,
All
they're
right, so Jim,
ridiculous.
so I'm gonna give a shout out because this month, August, is Support Black Business Month, right? So I'm gonna give a shout out to a couple of brands real quick, and then I want to talk about Nicki Minaj. All right. So check out brands in Target. Supporting black businesses does not have to be expensive. Target has a couple of brands. Fresh Dolls, and you can Google all these folks. QT, Kuytee is how it's spelled, and it's press on nails. Glam Body Scrub and Earth Mask by Rosen. Check out some of the brands that they have in Target because now they have some black owned businesses, and I think they put like little signs to indicate that it's black owned. So shout out to those folks, and yeah, we hope you do well. Let's
Awesome.
talk about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. All right, Jimmy, did you hear about Nicki?
No, yeah, I want you to tell me because I'm very interested in this.
I
I happen to like Nicki Minaj.
I don't have a problem with her.
I
The
haven't,
oh
but
yeah.
I was like, when I saw the little thing that was up when you guys were sending the messages, I was saying, I hope she didn't do nothing wrong.
Well,
Oh
no, that's
man,
debatable.
no.
But actually, before I get to Nikki, I'm sorry, you guys. I want to jump back into the comments. Duh, must be Trump's fault. Said what's up when he came in. We appreciate you for coming by, brother. We appreciate you viewing or sister. We appreciate them. And then, duh, must be Trump's fault. Says, unfortunately, sir, it'll never happen because division is a profitable business model. Yeah, that's true facts, man. Division definitely does cause more profit, and it's unfortunate that it's set up that way.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so let's jump on Nikki, right? So Nikki had a lady came out and posted some tweets, and she claimed to be Nikki's former assistant. She talked about she tried to put Nikki on blast about relationships that she had with people, and I'm not necessarily talking sexual, but like Drake. She talked about her relationship with Lil Wayne, Cardi B. She specifically pointed out Jay-Z and B don't necessarily mess with Nicki anymore because she's married to a pedophile or a man that has raped women and has been convicted of rape and
Wow.
also first degree manslaughter. That's who she's married to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man, you got man. It's
Oh
crazy.
my God, man.
And she had a baby with him. Um, so then she also has issues with Nas, I guess, or yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, and Meek Mill, her ex boyfriend. The lady also claimed that she was in IRS debt for $173 million. And since 2016, ain't that crazy? Like, that is some crazy stuff.
So Nicki Minaj is in debt for $176 million.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's what they
But
say.
how does somebody that was able to build up such an empire with her music, and she's very
I don't
talented and
know.
other things, how the
Hey,
hell?
how the hell could she do it, right? I'm sorry, Jim. Keep going. It's just
No,
crazy.
that's $176 million. How do you evaluate that? Like, how do you evaluate how somebody actually got into debt like that? I mean, that's insane.
It
And
sounds
yet,
insane,
did
but
she
yes,
know
it's
that he was a
insane.
pedophile? Did she know this man was a
Oh
pedophile?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she knew all of that before she married him. I believe she did.
I just
Yeah.
lost a lot of
And
respect
again,
for Nicki
it's not
Minaj.
that again, it wasn't pedophilia. I just want to clarify that. He's been convicted 2 times for rape and 1 time for manslaughter. And he's done
Wow.
jail time for that. Yeah.
You don't think that's heavy? Hey,
That's
Malik, are
some
you
heavy
gonna?
stuff.
Man, my sister was going out with a person, and this is what marks you because that doesn't leave you. My sister went out with a gentleman, and same type of temperament was volatile with women. But now, after what he did with my sister for not staying with her, he has a permanent restraining order, which
Wow.
anytime you pull up his name, comes out permanent restraining order.
That's what's
So
up.
this guy's a pedophile. He's a
Mm.
known pedophile. You could look up his name, and she married him, and she had a baby with him
Your
on
sister.
top of that.
Your sister.
No, I'm talking about Nicki Minaj now.
Again, not
Yeah,
pedophile.
what
You
I'm
don't want to
saying
say
is
pedophile.
you're
You don't want to
scarred.
say
Once you
pedophile.
do that,
He's a rapist.
yeah, once you're a rapist, you're known the rest of your life as a rapist.
Yeah, and a
And
first degree manslaughter charge against
how the hell does a woman in that position marry a guy like that, knowing that this will definitely ruin her career?
Hey, dude, people do stupid shit for love. Let me go on with the list, though. She also claimed that she paid a DJ to put out her new song "Freaky," um, and kind of promote it, which is illegal. She lies about her drug use. This is all in claims from this person. Um, let's see, and then she blamed the rival fan base and called believers dumb. So she basically was like, "Fuck y'all! If you believe this, you stupid."
You know, she just shot herself in the arm. You know that.
And then she quoted God, right? And she said, "Those who form against me shall not prosper." And yeah, man, yeah, yeah, a lot of
She's
crazy
taking
shit.
quotes from the Bible.
She quoted the Bible, dude. She quoted the Bible, and the girl released the baby's name. I think it was a mod.
There you go. People that get so much, they just think they're above the law and above the world.
It's just
It,
crazy, man. It's crazy.
she just flushed her career down the toilet. That's what she did, man.
She basically did. She basically
Yeah,
did.
you're not
But
going
it
to
wasn't
see.
her that released this stuff. It was her former assistant. And the assistant can't release proof because she says she signed an NDA. So what we don't really know. We don't know that this stuff is true. We don't know. But I gotta tell you, when you start saying shit like, if you believe me, you stupid, then
Right, right.
then I'm starting to
Yeah,
question you a little bit harder. Because that's a fucked up defense mechanism and you need to do better.
man, this is some serious stuff. I mean, it's not like you got caught with a bag of weed. I mean, this is pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, man. It's
But
serious shit.
hey, look, I remember when Lamborghini gave her pink Lamborghini, and they gave it to her.
Wowza.
Now, when my friend said, "Oh," I said, "Did you see that car?" I said, "The car was unbelievable. It was custom made for her by Lamborghini,
Yeah.
and they gave it to her."
Wow.
And when you're a celebrity, what do? You got a
Listen,
big
like
bucks car, you got a big bucks girl. Hey, if I put her in a Lamborghini, everybody else is going to want a Lamborghini. And
exactly.
but these people with these privileges just don't realize how delicate their life really is. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll turn on a
It can be taken
dime.
away like that.
Yeah, absolutely. If she wants to quote something from the Bible, the Lord taketh and the Lord giveth and the Lord
Lord
taketh
take it
away.
away. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
you, I got to tell you, man. I don't know. I think everybody's getting punchy. You
They
know,
are.
I'm not a liberal. I don't discriminate against anybody in their beliefs, Republican, whatever, God or you're atheist. But I got to tell you something. It really is troubling to see how this country, this society is turning into mush. Men are not men anymore. I see a lot of men dressed like Nicki Minaj and walk around. I don't, I mean, I'm seeing this feminine outlook on men, and is it anybody's? I have no idea. I'm not trying to get off the subject because Nicki Minaj, she's almost like condoning things, and I think what I'm saying is it's too free, it's too open,
Yeah. But
when
she's
we don't want
usually
to fit.
very private. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't share much about her life. Like they haven't even released the baby's name yet. Not officially, not Nikki.
So I mean, this might be hearsay then.
Yeah, it could totally be hearsay.
Yeah, look, we're talking about a story. We're talking about the mush that's out there.
Yeah,
But
man.
could the mush be real? We're going to soon find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But, we're talking about it. We're talking about what people are saying. And that's, and what's the false seekers, the same thing with Pete, Diddy Combs.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they put out this crap. And sometimes you're like, until it's really real, you're like,
You
what the
can't
hell is
believe it.
going?
You can't
Yeah, you
believe it.
can't believe it. Hey, look, do you remember the story I said about that guy Nygaard?
I was
Remember?
gonna just jump on that. I'm glad you came to it, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baby, I
me
did it.
about
Look, I'm
Peter
reading your
Nine.
mind. That's good with it.
That's awesome. We're in tune, brother. We're in tune.
But babe, remember I told you about him a while ago?
Yeah.
And remember I said what's so sad is nobody will ever know the crimes that this guy commits. And here I am. I get a phone call from my friend, and he said, "Man," he goes, "they got tapes on Nygaard." I was like, "What?" I
Yep.
was like, "This." And did you see it?
I did. I did. She was
Is it
crazy.
disgrace? Is it disgusting?
It was crazy. I
Did
I,
I
I
tell you?
got so mad
Remember
at
I
one
told you?
point, man. I wanted to kick his ass. Going over there, and now he's a pedophile.
Oh, listen,
He is definitely a pedophile.
he's the most wretched, disgusting person. I met him in Cannes, man. I wanted to punch his face in then. I saw, studying karate, energy doesn't lie. You can't hide your, we have electronic magnetic impulses that fly out of our body every split second.
Of
And
course.
you feel the tension. You remember when you meet somebody and say something ain't right? That's
Yeah.
your that's your gut telling you the truth, and that is the truth. I met him, Malik, and I got to tell you, I turned to my partners and people, and I said, "Man, I got a most disgusting feeling from that guy." And
Wow.
then he said, "Oh, that's Peter Nygaard." I said, "That's Nygaard." Now, if you ever saw Nygaard's house, he has a house in the Bahamas that's made of fake tree stumps, and
Yeah,
it's
it looks like a little village.
yeah. Now, I was supposed to go there several times, Malik, and I
See.
was invited because of other people, and I never went. And I said, "Nah, man, I don't. That's not my scene. I'm not into. No, I'm not. I'm an old fashioned guy. I got one lady. It's all I need.
You
I'm
good to
just
go.
this."
You
But
good to go.
babe, did you see the sinisterness of that guy? Did you see?
Okay,
I
so
told
just to
you he's an
backtrack,
animal, man.
Peter Nygaard, there was just a documentary released out on Stars about him. And basically he was this Canadian designer a long time
That's
ago.
right. Yep.
And he had a place where he had citizenship. He was Canadian. Did I say that? He was a Canadian designer.
Yes.
And this happened a very long time ago. And he had this place in the Bahamas that he would take people to. But what he would also do is kidnap, sex traffic women through this place. He would
And
rape
drug them.
women all the time. He would
Drug
drug
them.
them all the time. He would make claims that he would help them with their career, but then he'd hold their passports if they didn't agree. I mean, it was just a lot of shady shit this dude was doing.
Yeah, man.
And Jimmy had the pleasure of meeting him.
Listen, I got to tell you, you know what? I was so elated because I said, this guy is doing these disgusting things and nobody's doing nothing about it. And here you go. Again, here's another guy that's going to be bashed. He was good friends with Epstein. I mean, wow. I was so elated, honestly, because these people are, I despise these people. They make me sick to my stomach. And to see this all get out and people know who this guy really is was very elating for me because he is an epitome of an animal or a slug.
Oh yeah.
I'm insulting the slug, I think,
Yeah,
because
you are, because he is the slimiest, grimiest.
I'm
I
so
don't even
glad you
think
saw that.
he's in life. I mean, he is like the devil.
Oh my God,
He's just
man.
the devil. That's what he is. He's a devil. He was raping
Listen,
14, 12, 15-year-old girls.
listen,
They would be screaming. It was just disgusting. I'm sorry.
man, let me tell
Go
let
ahead.
me tell you something. I was in Monte Carlo when I was in the movie business with one of the Fuji models. I wasn't going out with her. She was like, with the entourage and stuff. And we rented a Mercedes just for the hell of it. Hey, we're going to Monte Carlo. It
Hey.
was awesome. And I found out that she was invited to Nygar's house. And and I said, well, you got to tell her, oh, no, she already left. And about 30 guys drugged her and raped her. And she was never seen after that. Her life was ruined and destroyed. She's a complete vegetable. I think she's back in Ireland. A beautiful, beautiful girl.
God.
But this guy, when I heard that, I wanted to swim to the Bahamas. I wanted to swim and go to his house and take this guy out like a ninja.
Oh my
But
God.
could you imagine because of a person's wealth, what you think you can do? I mean, hey, and let me tell you something. Bill Clinton was involved with Epstein in the worst. I mean, it's deep, man.
I think
I don't
all of
care
them
what you
were
say.
involved in it. I think once you
I wouldn't
become
be
that rich,
surprised.
you're in an elite type of circle. And I
Yeah,
mean, you just get bored. What else is there to do but rape little children and do
I think,
stupid
is
shit?
that what it is, Malik? You think it's that because they have this money and this wealth and they can do anything that they go to these
Yeah,
thresholds?
yeah. And
I
it's a
mean, but
damn shame. And
yeah,
the
but Malik,
Libyan president was like helping this dude out.
yeah, but I'm a normal person, and I had money and I didn't have money. It didn't change me as a person and a character. Even if I don't have Malik as we speak, I'm helping two families in Ukraine survive while they're in Moldova.
Okay.
And it might be costing me money, but you know what? I can't leave a woman and her mother who had to leave their house. I got them out of there.
Yeah,
And I
that's
feel
fucked
proud
up.
of myself. And I don't have a lot of money. And if I had more money, I'd probably be helping a lot more people, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But I don't see myself ever getting into a mindset that I could rape 12 and 14-year-old kids and steal their. To me, it's like if there is a Satan, there he is.
And that's
He's
why I
out.
called
If,
Nygaard.
if, if there is a possession, this is a possession, because that's demonic to me. And I use the word demonic again. I'm an atheist, so the word demonic I mean as an evil word,
Oh,
and again, I choose good over evil. I
all
choose
the
to be a
time.
good person. I never could see myself having money like that. You're just a sick individual. And he has to live in the Bahamas more than 6 months to get his residency and his taxes served there
Mm, mm,
on
mm.
that house.
See,
Which the creep, yeah, what a creep, man.
yeah,
Peter
he's
Nygard. Remember that name, man. And if you can go on Stars and check that show out and find out how evil people really are, man.
yeah, man.
Hey,
He was
look,
just horrible. He was just
Malik,
horrible.
yeah, it's horrible, man.
And
And it's a shame what we're becoming, as a society. There's no such thing as middle class anymore. There's just poor people,
yeah,
and these rich
and rich
people.
people.
Yeah, these Nygards and all these, and who the hell else? Nancy Pelosi.
Ugh.
You know, what a
Yeah.
schmucky move. That's another thing I forgot to mention to talk to you about. What the hell is she doing going to Taiwan, even pissing China off more?
Ugh.
I don't get it. You know, we're really turned into a bunch of mushheads. We really have, you know.
Man, it's crazy out there, brother. It's crazy
There's
out there.
no,
There's no rules anymore. Like people are just out there doing them. Everybody's doing them, and that's cool. But there are consequences to
yeah, you're
everybody
right.
doing them, and
Yeah,
nobody
we're not
making
in the
smart
groove,
decisions.
babe. You just said it right. We're not in the groove.
We're not. We're
When
not.
we used to be in a groove, I mean, even though the 70s were violent, but man, everybody was, it was just a jacked up, great time to be a teenager for me. I mean, everybody was, you know, and I was always in the city. I was always jamming and playing, and you know, where you can have a good time and make fun of each other, you know, and not get stressed out. Hey, listen, I was the only white guy at I used to play for a reggae band, and my friend Jacques calls me up. He says, "Jimmy, man, you need to play tonight." I said, "Oh, buddy, I can't." Next minute, I'm the now they would do that to me. You can't do that now. Oh, look at what they did to him. So they said, "Hey, everybody, don't get upset. The crazy white boy only played the guitar, and they're all crazy white boy." Now I'm laughing, you know, and I'm like, "Jacques, hey, thanks, buddy." You know, he said, "Hey, come on, man, we love you, baby," and you know, but we are not in that time anymore. We're
No,
not
we're
in that
not. We're not. We're
we
not.
can't be playful with each other. We can't say anything nice to each other, which is
And have a
fucked up.
good time, which is really
That's
fucked
right.
up. Hey, y'all! Before we close out, I want to give a shout out to New Age Plug. New Age Plug was looking for the link for the Nikki rap. Then he meant the Nikki tape. All right, so that tape came out in 2018, and that had Little Wayne in it. And I hear he leaked it. So you may be able to Google that, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj sex tape. And with that, we are going to say goodnight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the viewers that will be catching up with us later. And Jimmy, you got any final words?
No, man. Everybody be safe, be happy, relax your mind. Sorry.
And Jimmy's
Re-
relaxing his.
Relax your mind and deal with it.
Hey, brother. All right. Now, on that note, we're going to say goodnight, y'all. Have a great week.
Oh, God.